Alright YouTubers, how you diddling? This is the Dispose List, and in this video I am going to explain how to do the Candelabra part of the Soissons based Easter egg that's recently been solved with the Battlefield Easter egg community. I was amongst some of the first to do it yesterday, but nobody up until now, I believe, has worked out exactly how the Candelabra part works. It was all done by luck and by having a few friends click on the bases of these candelabra until they all lit sort of by accident. I myself completed it yesterday by accident whilst I was trying to work out how to do it. I just managed to light them all whilst I was trying to work it out. But since then and today I've worked out the proper process, and I'm going to help you to do the same thing. So what I've done, I've already shot out all the lights and the section is activated so that I can now interact with these candelabra. And the first thing to do is with a piece of paper, or I've done it with a Excel spreadsheet. And here it is. And I'm going to click this candelabra. It doesn't matter which one you do, but I'm going to do candelabra number 1. And I'm going to note the states of the other candelabra as I continue to click those. And it's important to note the numerical order of these candelabra. Now, I've worked out from my research, it's obvious from what I've done, and it will be obvious to you that the developers have been treating those in this particular order, and so it's best to start in that order. It was very confusing for me because I had numbered them in a different way, and it made it very confusing to work out. So we're starting from a better position here, and they're numbered. Number 1 is the one that I'm in, I'm at, and then they go clockwise around. Number 2 is opposite, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6 going clockwise around. If I just show you, this is number 1, number 2 there, number 3 is in this next room, number 4 in the corner here, number 5 here, number 6 here, and number 7 going clockwise back almost to number 1 is just here. So back to number 1. The first thing that anyone has to do is work out what the sequence of switches is, and that will be unique to the instance that you're in. If you actually hang around for a couple of minutes to think about something or get distracted, the sequence will reset, the lamps will all turn off, and you'll have to do it all again. So you need to be reasonably quick to do this, or there is a trick to get it to not reset, which I will also show you, or at least I'll make that clear. So the first thing I'm going to do is take note of the state changes when I click. So I'm doing one click here, and then going to my spreadsheet. Oh, not to my spreadsheet yet, because I've got to note which lamps are lit. So lamp number 2 is lit, lamp number 1 was not. No 3, so 2 and 4. And that's it, 2 and 4. So I go to my spreadsheet and I note that 2 and 4 are lit. And I've got to do that at least 7 times. What I've discovered is that there's a repeating pattern no matter which candelabra that you click on. The pattern repeats over 7 clicks. So that's 1 and 2 are lit. And 4. 1, 2, 4, no 5, no 6, and 7. 1, 2, 4, and 7. 1, 2, 4, and 7. So the pattern is, it usually is 2 that have changed. This bit here, I've got a little part of my spreadsheet that works out whether or not, or what has changed, so what has switched. So this is where I'm writing down the states of the candles. This is where I'm writing, working out what has switched. So obviously when 2 and 4 came up, that was 2 and 4 that switched. When you then have 1, 2, 4 and 7, that means 1 and 7 were switched. So now I'm going to continue. Like I say, there are 7 distinct states before it starts repeating. So 1 has gone out, 2 is still lit. We've got 2, 7 is 2 and 7, 2, 4 and 7, 6 and 7, 2, 4, 6 and 7. 2, 4, 6 and 7. Okay, so now whilst that pattern, if I were to continue checking states, that pattern would repeat. Whilst that would repeat, the state of the candelabra is left with 2 lit. And what you discover, another thing I discovered from doing this many times over the last couple of days, is if I do this sequence another another time. So if I click another 7 times, 3, 4, then the lamps will all be back to switched off. And I've kind of lost count, so to just make sure that they're all switched off. It gives me a better starting position. Right, they're all switched off. I mean, I should be able to work it out if they weren't. If you do get into a mess, as long as you've worked out the initial sequence, as long as you got these correct, and then you get that initial sequence, then everything will be all right. Now, the reason I've got these different stages, what they are is actually this sequence scrolled along. So if this scrolls one to the left, it looks like this. If it scrolls another one to the left, it looks like this. And this is just to make things easy for me when I'm applying the switches. And the reason for that, and the reason for much confusion and difficulty in working this out, is because no matter which candelabra in the building you switch, it's almost as if the whole building remembers the state it's in. It remembers how many switches or at what point in the sequence of switching you are at. So if I switch candelabra number 2, that means you move to sequence number 2. If I then switch candelabra number 7, then you're at stage 3. If you then switch candelabra number 1, you're at stage 4, and so on. So the building itself remembers what stage you're at, and you can get in a terrible mess if you don't remember what stage you're at, because things won't apply properly. And what I mean by that is, at stage 1, if I click candelabra 4, it will switch 4 and 7. At stage 5, if I click candelabra 2, it will switch candelabras 3 and 5. That is how it works. So, to also work this out, what we need to do obviously is get them all switched on. So I've made a little sort of logic board here that's pre-filled, another bit of Excel cross-referencing. And what we want to do is get everything lit. Remember, I said we haven't got too long before this whole thing resets, and there is a trick to stopping it from resetting, and I'm going to give myself more time by doing it. I basically just have to hit this 14 times to do a complete cycle to get back to off again. Okay, so I have reset the candelabra, and that gives me a bit more time to go and work things out here. And as I say, I've got this little logic board worked out, and basically I need to know which of these switches to throw, which of these states to throw to get everything switched on. And if I have a quick look, that one and that one go together quite nicely, but obviously I can't have both of those. That will switch one on and off, so I need to get rid of one of those. We'll just delete number 3 for now and see how that works. So now I need those 4 switched on, and that one looks like I need to eliminate that one, and then it's quite quickly obvious I need to eliminate that one. So it looks like switching 1, 3, 5 and 7 will fix things for me. So now I'm at stage 1. Remember, I've switched everything off, so I'm back to stage 1 in the sequence. So if I click number 1, that will light 2 and 4. I'm just going to go and verify that. So yep, lamp 2 is on, 3 is not, 4 is on, and the others are not. But that's good. That was easy. It was lamp 1 in the first place that we made note of. So the next thing, according to my sheet, is lamp 2 I need to click, but we're at stage 2. So at stage 2, to get this configuration, that's actually lamp number 1 I now need to press. Does that make sense? Things have moved on. So to get this configuration, it's not actually lamp 2 anymore because we've already clicked a lamp. It's lamp 1. So I'm going to click lamp 1, and that should switch 1 and 7. It has indeed switched 1, as we saw. And oh, 7 is here, so we can see, yes, 7 is now on also, and the ones that were on before are still on. So it's looking good so far. Now we need to get this configuration, which was going to be lamp 5, but we've moved on to stage 3 now, and this is actually now triggered by lamp 3. So 1, 2, 3 is around this corner. Oh, I'm going to need to clear some room, not get myself blown up. So lamp 3 there should now switch number 5. That was 3, 4, and indeed number 5 is on. So now we need to switch on number 6 and number 3. And to switch on number 6 and number 3, that was lamp 7, but we've moved on to stage 5 now. Is that right? No, we're on stage 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on stage 4. Don't get this wrong, Dave. And so what was number 7 is now number 4. If we want to switch lamps 3 and 6 on stage 4, we click lamp 4. Fingers crossed, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Here is lamp 4. We should hear a nice noise and everything will be lit. And there it is. My theory proved. A long, boring video to show you. But hopefully that is at least clear. I don't think I've been as concise as I could be. And I'll work with the Battlefield Easter egg community to try and get that Excel spreadsheet to you and maybe summarize it in a bit of a better manner. But for the rest of you who haven't done it, hopefully this will help you do this section a little bit quicker. Thanks very much for watching. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, a thumbs down if you didn't, and comments. I always love to see comments, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, YouTubers.